his focus as he takes victory. Our first Grand Prix winner in Brazil in 22 years. Special emotions are well coming up for Honda Team Asia, and a very special podium indeed, given the historic significance of it.
Jorge Martinez Aspar wants to take in every moment of this with both of his young talents alongside him on the podium. Third place. Get used to this feeling, Veda. You're going to be doing this a lot in your Grand Prix career. A first podium for Indonesia in Grand Prix racing and in Moto3 for Veda Pratama. Second for Argentina and Aspar is Marco Morelli. So close in the end, wasn't he, to mugging his teammate on the line, but nothing was going to deny Max Quiles today. All sorts thrown at him. The hot early pace of David Almanza, the red flag which brought his 4-second runaway lead to a screeching halt. But despite all of that, he stood tall. Fernando Menezes, the marketing manager of our event sponsors, Estrella Galicia, presents the Winning Constructor Prize. And it had to be Jorge Martinez Aspar today. It has been the perfect Sunday so far for him, with Moto2 qualifying earlier on this morning going the way of his two riders, and his two Moto3 stars triumphant in the shortened 5-lap scrap. How must this feel for young Veda Pratama, just 17 years of age? We already said that he was the most talented rider to emerge from Indonesia, a MotoGP mad nation. And now he has a podium finish to back up all of the talent and all of the promise. As does Marco Morelli, who of course was a front runner, a runner-up last year in the Junior World Championship. He's now second in the Moto3 World Championship after P2 today. But so many expected Max Quiles to dominate this Moto3 season. He's a long way from doing that. We're just at round 2, but certainly a statement of intent for Quiles. He put the pressure on Almanza, he then cracked, and he withstood the pressure from his teammate Marco Morelli to take a first victory of 2026.
Quiles then takes his opening win of the 2026 Moto3 World Championship. A very dramatic day to get the Grand Prix of Brazil underway here as Jorge Martinez Aspar gets a proper Prosecco shower from his two riders on the podium. A memorable day for the Valencia-based team as Quiles takes the win in a Grand Prix which will go down in the record books as a 5-lapper which had a race-winning time of just 7 minutes, 19.8 seconds. Max Quiles won't care, and neither will Veda Pratama or Marco Morelli. Veda Pratama on the podium in just the second Grand Prix. Not got your ticket for Mandalika yet? You might want to hurry up and get one, based on what we've just seen here in Brazil today, because they have been craving for so many years to have one of their own, challenging for honours in the Grand Prix paddock. Of course, we have to pay testament to the Asia Talent Cup system, the Road to MotoGP programme, which has helped pretty much every rider in the current Moto3 World Championship get into this position where they can showcase their skills on the biggest stage of all. And Veda Pratama, Marco Morelli and Max Quiles are taking full advantage. Quiles, your winner here in Brazil.
There'll be a petition to put the Moto3 race on last in Lombard, won't there? He'll be taking top billing there. Veda Pratama on the podium behind an Aspar 1-2. Quiles from Morelli. Pratama, a historic first podium in third, ahead of Alvaro Carpe, who was denied on the final lap. Pini fifth, ahead of Rico Salmela. Shout out for him in just his second Grand Prix, taking sixth, ahead of his teammate Valentin Peroni, who went back to seventh from the front row. Fernandez 8th from O'Gorman and Danish. Uriarte 11th, ahead of Kelso Cruces, Yamanaka, and another World Championship point. Consecutive Grand Prix now for Eddie O'Shea. 18 finishers, of course, 4 of those did not restart. Esteban, and of course, notably Almanza, crashed before the restart. Almanza, of course, was leading. Max Quiles, though, now leading the World Championship as a result of that. 45 points from a possible 50, and already 17 clear of his teammate Marco Morelli. Pratama up to third. Carpe stays fourth. Of course, leapfrogs Almanza, who drops 4 places today, having crashed from the lead. Peroni also drops down the order. He's now 6th. KTM, of course, leading the constructor standings by 23 points. Veda Pratama, of course, has been top Honda in both Grand Prix so far. And in the team standings, CF Moto Aspar with a 33-point cushion already over Red Bull, KTM, IO. Dynavolt drop 3 places today, having not scored with their one rider who travelled here to Brazil. Have some highlights. Of course, this was the first start of this Brazilian Grand Prix. We made 14 laps in before we had to call a halt to proceedings. Joel Esteban going from a maiden pole position in the Moto3 class. On a roller coaster, a few laps he had, initially dropping back from the lead that he carried into the first corner. Really getting beaten up was the young Catalan on the first lap. Quiles, who stormed through from 11th place on the grid to take the lead. David Almanza, who started even further back, he was 14th when the Grand Prix began. He then took the running at the front. Esteban was on a charge mission back up the order until that moment. A violent high side for the pole sitter took him out of the proceedings just as he was back into the podium spots. The top 2 were streaking clear. Peroni holding 3rd place, but the leading pair were some 4 seconds off the road. That leading pair, though, became just 1 as Almanza high-sided coming out of turn 4, losing any hope to challenge Quiles for a second victory out of 2. After a crash for Scott Ogden, just a couple of laps later, the race was halted. Almanza, though, ineligible to take part in the 5-lap sprint. Max Quiles started exactly where he left the previous incarnation of this Brazilian Grand Prix, storming into a fairly comfortable lead as the battle raged behind him for 2nd place. Rios and Bertelli, though, wouldn't make it past turn 4 at the restart. Pratama launching his bid for a first career podium with a move on the last lap to take Carpe. While this was going on, the Aspar duo were closing together, with Morelli launching a late challenge to try and deny Max Quiles victory. In the end, there was little to separate them out of the final quarter, but Quiles had enough in hand to take his first victory of 2026. Maiden podiums for both Morelli and Pratama right behind him. History made in Moto3 in Brazil. Quiles, though, takes your World Championship lead as we head to Austin next weekend. Of course, the place where Quiles made his debut last year. Moto2 is on the way next.